discuss about Section 14 to 18 of CMO number 3, 2022. In Section 14, disposition of wastages, rejects, and byproducts. In the realm of manufacturing within bonded warehouses, a set of customs procedures governs the withdrawal and handling of wastages, rejects, and byproducts destined for domestic consumption or exportation. So, ano naman ay mga wastages, rejects, and byproducts? It's because if mag-manufacture ka o product, there are tendencies na naay ma-damage, naay mga items na dili ma-meet ang required quality standards, and mga leftover materials during the process of manufacture, nga some are still usable. And this is what Section 14 is all about. This section delves into the intricacies of these procedures, shedding light on the regulation, processes, and implications associated in disposing wastages, rejects, and byproducts. In accordance with Section 14, subsection 1, by consumption. The process and requirements of the withdrawal of wastages, rejects, and byproducts from a bonded warehouse for domestic consumption is that ana ka pwede mag-withdraw ang mga wastages at byproducts pamaagi sa pag-lodge o goods declaration for consumption. So, unsa man ay goods declaration for consumption? Ang goods declaration for consumption is a document nga nag-provide of information about sa imported goods nga musod sa isa ka country. Required niya sa customs authorities para ma-assess nila o ma-collect ang mga import duties and taxes, also to ensure compliance with import regulations. For this purpose, ang Bureau is mag-establish and maintains a wastages valuation database system. Kani nga database system is used as reference for the computation of the duties and taxes kung pilay mabayaran sa wastages and byproducts. So, in the meantime, while the WVDS creation process is pending, the duties and taxes on these items should be assessed as if na-import na imuhang mga wastages sa laing country. Payment of duties and taxes on all wastages, rejects, and byproducts shall be exempt from the application of rules and regulations on de minimis value. So, unsa man ang de minimis value? Kaning de minimis value according to Section 423 of the Philippines Customs Modernization and Tariff Act or the CMTA, determination of the de minimis value. No duties and taxes shall be collected on goods with an FOB or FCA value of 10,000 pesos or below. So for that reason, even if below 10,000 yung mga wastages, you still have to pay the duties and taxes kaya exempted ni siya sa de minimis value regulations. In Section 14, subsection 1.1, the CVW operator shall apply in writing to the district collector through the chief of the operating division for payment of duties and taxes of wastages, rejects, and byproducts. So, in their written application, the operator needs to include the WSAD number, description of the waste material, if hazardous ba siya or plastic, the quantity that must be consistent in the FOM, the percentage against total imported raw materials, and lastly, the certification by the warehouseman. So this process is important para legal imong payments sa duties and taxes adto nga mga materials. In Section 14, subsection 1.2, after ma-approve sa district collector ang application for payment, ang customs examiner from the Warehousing Assessment Division kuhaon ang original nga WSAD from the Warehousing Documentation and Records Division and conduct an examination of the wastages, rejects, and byproducts para ma-determine if the wastages is within the allowable percentage in the FOM. Pero kung ang mga wastages gani kay mula pa sa limit nga naa sa FOM, ang duties and taxes nga mabayran kay mag-base sa invoice value nga naa sa WSAD. So this helps ensure that any additional financial obligations due to excessive wastages are correctly determined and settled in accordance with customs rules. In Section 14, subsection 1.3, the operator operator shall file the goods declaration using BC Form 177 or Informal Import Declaration and Entry with the WAD and pay the assessed duties and taxes for the wastages, rejects, and byproducts. So, kaning BC Form 177 is a document na gamiton para sa customs processes to provide detailed information about the goods nga imuhang i-import or gi-stored sa warehouse. In Section 14, Subsection 1.4, the CBW operator shall then file the withdrawal permit covering the wastages and byproducts with the operating division concerned or its equivalent customs unit. And dili ma-withdraw imong wastages, rejects, and byproducts kung dili ka maka-present of proof of payment na nakabayad na ka sa duties and taxes. In Section 14, Subsection 2, by re-exportation, the procedures for the exportation of wastages, rejects, and byproducts shall follow Section 12, Subsection 3.1 of this order on direct exports.
I will now discuss the continuation of Section 14, disposition of wastages, rejects, and byproducts. 14.3. By condemnation. Wastages, rejects, and byproducts shall be withdrawn and disposed by the CBW operator through condemnation, following the procedures outlined below. 14.3.1. The operator shall apply in writing to the collector of the customs a request for disposition of wastages, rejects, or byproducts through condemnation, attaching thereto the certification of assigned warehouseman as to the occurrence of said wastages, specifying the following: import entry, number covering waste materials, rejects, and byproducts, description of waste material or byproducts, quantity of the banded goods for condemnation. So, giving means the exposition is the responsibility of the operator. And in order to proceed, the operator shall apply in writing, attaching on it is the certification of the assigned warehouseman, the occurrence of the said wastages. The account officer shall check if the quantity of the wastages, rejects, or byproduct is within the allowable wastage as verified by the FOM. So, giving it means the account officer is responsible for checking the quantity of the products. If the products falls within the limit based on the FOM. 14.3.3. The assigned custom examiner of the WAD or equivalent unit shall examine the banded goods for the condemnation as the quantity and quality of the commercial value. Banded goods requested for condemnation found to have commercial value or are recyclable shall be required to pay duties and taxes and shall not be condemned. So, giving it means a custom examiner or equivalent personnel examines the banded goods requested for condemnation. If these goods have any commercial value or recyclable, they are not condemned, and duties and taxes are required to be paid. 14.3.4. Condemnation shall be done by the CBW operator within the remaining storage period. The condemnation shall be done within 3 days from the date of approval by the district collector the request for condemnation, and after compliance with the documentary requirements, including securing the required clearances or permits from other government agencies, if applicable. The condemnation proceedings must be witnessed by the assigned warehouseman, representatives from the auction and cargo disposal division, and other concerned officers of the Bureau, representatives from the Commission on Audit, and other concerned government agencies. Giving it means it is a timely condemnation. The CBW operator must carry out a condemnation process within the remaining storage period. It should occur within 3 days from the approval of the condemnation requested by the district collector. After all the necessary clearances and permits from other government agencies must be obtained if applicable. So there is a witness proceedings. The condemnation process must be witnessed by the assigned warehouseman, representatives from the auction and cargo division and cargo disposal division, as well as other relevant offices of the Bureau and other concerned government agencies. 14.3.5. The assigned warehouseman shall issue a report on condemnation, also signed by the CW operator and other witnesses to the condemnation proceedings, which report shall form part of the documentary requirements for the liquidation of the covering WSAD. So lastly, after the condemnation proceedings, the assigned warehouseman issues a report on the condemnation, which is also signed by the CBW operator and other witnesses. This report becomes a documentary requirements for the liquidation of the associated goods declaration.
In Section 15, liquidation of materials, increase, and cancellation of funds. In Subsection 1, documentary requirements to liquidate warehousing increase. First, we have importation. Direct importation is the process of bringing goods from a foreign country into a bonded warehouse. So the required documents for direct importations include the original WSAD, bill of lading or aerial bill that provides proof of shipment and details about the imported goods. Third is the packing list or commercial invoice that describes the items in the shipment and their value. Fourth is the transfer note or boat note. And lastly, the licenses, permits, and other documentations. We have B, the constructive importations. So it is the process of transferring goods from one part of the bonded warehouse to another without bringing them from a foreign country. So the required documents for constructive importations include the original WSAD, similar to direct importation but for constructive importation. Secondly is the approved authority to sell or transfer. This is the authorization to transfer goods within the bonded warehouse. Third is the invoice of the seller, a document showing the sale details. And fourth is the transfer note, used for internal transfers within the warehouse. And lastly, the packing list. It is a list of the items being transferred or stored. Meanwhile, in exportation, first we have direct exportation. It is the process of taking goods from a bonded warehouse and exporting them into a foreign country. So the required documents for direct exportation include the process export declaration, second, outward bill of lading or airway bill, third is the CI or commercial invoice, fourth is the CIL or commercial invoice list, fifth is the transfer note, and sixth is the invoice, and seventh is the packing list, a list of the items being exported. So for MCBWs with accredited client exporters, the bill of lading and copy of approved authority to transfer is needed. For constructive exportation, it is the process of transferring goods from one part of the bonded warehouse to another or selling them within the bonded warehouse itself. With the intention of export, the required documents for constructive exportation includes the constructive export declaration, approved authority to sell or transfer, receipt of payment covering the sale, CI or commercial invoice, transfer note covering transfer, the invoice and packing list, and also the constructive warehousing entry filed by the buyer or CAWE. So if the buyer is a free zone locator, this document is required. Third is the documents for payment of wastages, rejects, or byproducts. The required documents includes the goods declaration for consumption, and secondly, the proof of payment of duties and taxes on wastages. While for domestic consumption or local sales, the required documents includes the approved request for local sales, second, the original WSAD SAD. Third, the withdrawal form and corresponding goods declaration. Fourth is the Statement of Settlement of Duties and Taxes, or SSDT, or Bureau of Customs Official Receipt, or BCOR, showing payment of the duties and taxes.
Section 15, subsection 2, period to liquidate. The importer has 60 days from the date of complete exportation to submit all necessary documents for liquidating the WSAB. This same 60 days period applies even if the exportation is complete before the storage period ends. However, the maximum time allowed of submitting the complete liquidation documents in 30 days after the storage period expires. Any document submitted after this 30 days period will be considered late and subject to penalties under Section 15 of Custom Administrative Order, Count Number 1, 2022. Ang kasabot sa period to liquidate, pinahanglan mula pa sa 60 days sa gikan sa pizza ng pag-export, mag-submit o kung sa dokumento nga documents na ipinahanglan para sa nag-liquidate sa WSAB. And same sa number sa kayon, hatagan sa ang importer para mag-submit sa complete na documents na ikinahanglan para sa pag-liquidate sa WSAB. Bisan pa ang cases kanang makumpleto sa pag-exportation, naghimo dili pa manahino na storage period. Ang gatasan nga adlaw naghatag sa gikan sa ang gatasan nga adlaw pag-submit sa complete nga documents sa pag-liquidation is 30 days gikan sa pag-expire sa period sa pag-liquidate. Pag-submit sa mga documents paghuman sa 30 days, hulhunaon nga ang late nga submission, kanang penalties under sa Section 15 of Custom Administrative Order, Count Number 1, 2022. Section 15, Subsection 3, Procedure. The CPW operator representative must complete an application for liquidation and submit it to the operator if operating division. The application should include the SOL, which is a report on the reconciliation of raw materials, well as other required documents mentioned in Section 15.1. The SOL should contain the WSAB number, description of goods, quantity, volume, and volume for the liquidation being represented. Ang kasabot sa subsection 15, subsection 3, procedure, CW operator needs lang mag-submit sa cooperating division sa application para sa liquidation appeal ani ang SOL nga usa ka report sa reconciliation. Ang reconciliation ay harmonization of business strategy. Then, ang SOL need mapakita sa number sa WSAB sa pagpakita sa mga utang apilan bidalhanon o kantidad sa liquidation nga libangan.
Now, I'll be going to continue Section 15, Subsection 3.2. Upon receiving the SOL and supporting documents, the operating division receives the WSAD from the WDRD or equivalent office. So, ang pasabot ani kay inigdawat sa SOL sa mga supporting documents. Ang buhaton sa operating division kay kuhaon ang WSAD ang ubang supporting documents gikan sa WDRD or equivalent office. Section 15, subsection 3.2. Thereafter, the account officer shall verify the authenticity of the liquidation documents, comparing the information in the SOL with the submitted documents based on the FOL. A. Quantities of the raw materials utilized to produce the finished goods exported or sold or transferred in case of ICPW. B. Quantity of wastages, rejects, or byproducts. C. Quantity of raw materials subject of local sales or domestic consumption. D. Quantity of raw materials condemned or abandoned if applicable. If everything is in order, the account officer signs the SOL and recommends the liquidation to the chief of the operating division for approval. So, ang buhat dun sa account officer ay iyang i-determine or check ang mga documents kung sakto ba o tinood ang mga information na nasa SOL. Kung sa ilang isubmit na FOM or Formula of Manufacture. Kaning FOM kay documentation na nag-determine sa mga raw materials na gamiton para maka-produce ng mga finished products para ibaligya o export. O kung unsa kadagana ang mga masayang, rejects or byproducts in manufacturers of products. Kung sakto na ang mga documents for liquidation, ang account officer kay mo sign sa SOL within 15 days from the receipt the recommend sa officer. Ang liquidation of WSET sa chief of the operating division para sa approval. Section 15, subsection 3.4. The chief operating division shall sign on the SOL signifying his or her concurrence in forwards the signed SOL to the LBD for final liquidation. So, ang chief sa operating division kay mosign sa SOL kung para ma-signify nga isangayon siya ani. Kunya ipasa ang mga complete documents sa LBD or Liquidation and Billing Division para sa final liquidation.
In Section 15, Subsection 3.5, the Liquidation and Billing Division or LBD shall review the WSAD and SOL para ma-determine if tinood ba ang mga information nga naadto o kumpleto ang mga supporting documents nga imuhang gi-submit. And within 15 days nga nadawat nila ang documents from the operating division, ang LBD will process the final liquidation of the WSAD. So in Section 15, Subsection 3.6, the LBD shall forward the SOL kauban sa WSAD to the bonds division for the cancellation of the corresponding warehousing ban. So, unsa man ang warehousing ban? It is a type of surety ban that required sa government agencies or regulatory bodies para ma-ensure nila kanang company nag-comply sa certain regulations or standards when storing goods or commodities in their warehouse. In accordance with Section 15, Subsection 3.7, within 5 days from receipt of the documents, ang Chief of Bands Division shall cancel the corresponding warehousing bans and issue the notice of cancellation of bans to the CBW operator. Then, the Bands Division ilahang i-keep ang tanang record sa canceled bans o copies sa corresponding liquidated interest and SOL. So, until the implementation of Raw Materials Liquidation System or RMLS and other ICT-enabled system, the current procedures for liquidation and cancellation will be followed.
Now I will going to discuss Section 16, Abandonment of Banded Goods. Banded goods not withdrawn within the prescribed storage period shall be considered abandoned and proceeded against pursuant to existing rules and regulations. Ang mga banded goods nga wala withdrawal sa paggamaha sa mga finished goods nga wala ma-export sulod sa gitakda nga storage period ug isipon nga i-abandonar o ipadayon batok subay sa kasamtangan nga mga lagda o regulasyon. Section 16, Subsection 1, 30 days prior to the expiration of storage period, the assigned warehouseman shall notify in writing the CBW operator. So sa 30 days prior sa dili pa mahuman ang storage period, the assigned warehouseman mo pahibalo kay CBW operator pinagi sa bituan sa pag-reveal sa banded goods. Section 16, Subsection 2, The civil operator upon receipt should avail pay the duties and taxes on the unmanufactured and exported goods. Section 16, subsection 2.2. The CBW operator upon receipt should avail pay the duties and taxes due on the unmanufactured and exported goods. Export the finished goods in and after the storage period upon written request and approval of the district collector. Expressly abandon the banded goods by filing an authorized letter of express abandonment. Upon request and approval sa district collector, pwede gyapon ma-export sa finished good bisan naman na sa storage period. And then mag-file of authorized letter sa express abandonment sa mga abandoned goods. And then kailangan mag-indicate og WSD number na mo'y kinahanglan sa pag-abandonar. Expressly nga i-abandon ang banded goods pinaagis sa authorized letter of abandonment.
Subsection 16.3. The district collector shall within 3 days issue the decree of abandonment which shall be the final executory. So, pagdawas sa letters of express abandonment, ang district collector sud sa tulo ka adlaw upagawas sa degree of abandonment nga mahimo dayon siya final executory. Subsection 16.4. The CBW operator shall turn over the abandonment goods to the ACDD. Expenses for the said turnover of goods shall be done by the CBW operator. So, pagdawat sa degree of abandonment, ang CBW operator kinahanglan i-surrender mga abandonment goods ngadto sa ACDT or equivalent unit of part of disposition. For expenses for the turnover of goods to the ACDT equivalent unit, kinahanglan i-confirm sa CBW operator. Subsection 16.5. The CBW operator shall be attached to the degree of abandonment and proof of receipt by the ECDs as a supporting document to its applications of liquidations filed with the operating division. Ang operator sa CBW pag-ulit sa mga raw materials o pag-liquidate sa WSAE, kailangan i-attach ang degree of abandonment of proof or receipt by the ECTD of the goods as supporting documents, application for liquidations filed with the operating division.
Section 18, Temporary Cessation Operation of CBW. A CBW operator shall inform the district collector of a temporary cessation of the CBW operator if same shall last for more than 1 year due to serve slowdown of industry pandemic, war, act of God, forced seizure, or other analogous reason. So, if si CBW operator will inform ni district collector for temporary cessation because more than 1 year na magsiging naapektuhan sila because of pandemic, war, act of God, forced seizure, or other analogous reason. So connected siya ni Section 18 for suspension and closure of CBW. Section 18 and closure of CBW, sub 18.1. A CBW shall inform calls by the district collector for any or all the following reason. Sub 18.1.1. In case of discontinuance request by the CBW operator or when the condition warrant pursuant to Section 807, Chapter 2, Title Number 8 of the CMTA. So, sa Section 807, discontinuance of CBW of CFW, the use of CBW and CFW may be continued by the district collector when the conditions warrant or upon receipt of a written request from the operator. So, ang CBW o CFW mo ay mo kuan ni district collector if mabasipod sila sa conditions so warrant. Then, the continuance of the use of any warehouse shall affect upon approval of the district collector who shall within 10 days inform the commissioner of such action in written. So, kuan man siya, dili ba siya ingon nga magbasta-basta move sila magama o action in writing if magbasi pa sila sa approval ni district collector, then ma-effect pa ni siya after 10 days. Section 18, sub 1.12, filing an application for renewal found to contain false information. So, dili po sila makabasta-basta o sira, o di po sila makabasta-basta open if ang pag-file nila is na yung mga false information, so dili pa dyan siya ka-proceed for renewal. And Section 18, sub 1.3, failure to file application for renewal. Then, if wala sa judge nga naka-file, so dili po sila authority to operate. Section 18, 1.4, being inactive for more than 1 year, no importation, or if there is no one corresponding legal withdrawal or import goods expulsion of finished product with the storage period. So, if more than 1 year nakadili na sila active for exportation and importation and exportation, so may tendency nga ma-close po sila because for inactive na. Then, Section 18.1.5, when the CBW operator of any each responsible officer shall only allow to use at CBW illegal activities. Mo ay responsibilidad if tayo mga illegal activity ang warehouse, so sila may makanagutan mo na may tendency nga ka-close po siya. Then Section 18 sa 1.6, an authority to relocate or use for extension warehouse. So napay tendency nga ma-close because kanang ning kuan na sila nga walay authority na mo-extend sila for warehouse. Then, Section 18, sub 1.7, an authorized change in the CBW layout. So, na-may tendency na ma-close siya kay nag-change sila ng layout na wala nag-inform sa district collector or commissioner. Section 18, sub 1.8, an authorized structure change of the CBW or its section warehouse for second offense. So, if kaduhan na sila na offense na wala pa sila nagbaguo, may tendency nga ma-close ang warehouse nila.
Section 18, continuation, the suspension and closure of customs bundled warehouse. Section 18, subsection 1.9, withdrawal of goods or any materials in customs bundled warehouse without requisition slip or withdrawal form. So, requisition slip or withdrawal form is a document nga gamiton na siya para ma-withdraw nimo imong goods sa customs bundled warehouse. So, naka-indicate aning requisition slip or withdrawal form ang type of quantity nga waon nimo ato sa CBW. And then, so without ani nga slip or form, ang imuhang goods can be confiscated. And ang customs bundled warehouse mag-face na sila ang consequence like suspension or closure. Though, dili sila appeal sa kanang improper na pag-withdraw sa kanang goods. Section 18, subsection 1.10, illegal withdrawal of any imported goods from customs bundled warehouse in accordance to Section 1422 of the CMTA. If the goods is illegally withdrawn or unauthorized person is ni-withdraw sa goods, so ma-subject na siya sa forfeiture of goods. It means ma-confiscate imuhang goods. And then, if dili siya ma-confiscate, so ang other way niya is to pay the required duties and taxes and other payments in accordance to Section 1422 of the CMTA. So, Section 1422 of the CMTA, unauthorized withdrawal of imported goods from banded warehouse. Nag-state ni siya nga ang unauthorized person is liable na siya nga mo-pay sa surcharge. Ang surcharge is 50%, good for 1 year. And after 1 year, matubuan na sana siya og another 25%. So ang ending ana niya is the customs banded warehouse na sad ang manubag. Kaya since ang unauthorized person, di na naman na siya ganahan mo bayad. So si customs banded warehouse, mo na siya manubag tanan-tanan, and then so on, kuan na siya ma-suspend or ma-close. So section 18, subsection 1.11, violation of customs rules and regulations. So katong gi-state sa section 18, tanang gi-state sa section 18, rules na siya pod sa kanang customs that if ilabag na sa person ang customs banded warehouse at manubag sa na siya kay syempre asa man di ang goods gibutan giba naa sa warehouse. And then isa may manubag na alangan man og katong unauthorized person. So syempre ang taga customs banded warehouse. So ang mga operator and ang ilahang mga teams or members authorized members. So sa section 18 sa section 2, district collector's closure order format annex N. So kani si district collector molihok na ni siya ani siya maghatag og closure order nga nag-follow sa katong format nga annex N. And then section 18 subsection 3, chief of the WID or equivalent office action to customs banded warehouse. So, after ni district collector ni issue sa closure order, si chief of the WID or equivalent office na sad ang mo-take og action by sealing and physically closing sa customs banded warehouse and putting guards just to make sure nga si customs banded warehouse dili siya maka-operate. Unless mabaydan niya ang tanan niyang payments or any kanang rules nga nalabag niya ma-fulfill na niya tanan and maka-operate sila balik. So, section 18, subsection 4, actions of CBW will do upon receiving the closure order. So, apan sa pagdawat sa closure order, gikan ni district collector, kani si customs banded warehouse operator, ang tanang papers nga naa niya while ga-operate ang customs banded warehouse niya, tanang papers nga nag-indicate about sa goods is ihatag na niya or i-pass na, isubmit na niya ni Chief of the Operating Division ang tanan nga documents para ma-audit siya to audit regulatory rules and compliance and to ensure that transparency pod and ma-address ang nakakos sa closure or suspension sa customs banded warehouse. So, section 18, subsection 5, additional actions that the Chief of the Operating Division concerned. So, additional action from the Chief of the Operating Division is to mag-inventory siya sa tanang goods nga naa sa customs banded warehouse. So, from the name itself, nga nag-inventory, so dapat documented na siya. And then, ang inventory is appeal ang unliquidated WSAD or customs duty or fee, means appeal to mga unpaid duties na related sa goods storage nga naa sa ilahang warehouse. Appeal na siya i-liquidate. And then, section 18, subsection 6, all goods will be turned over to the collection district. So, ang tanang goods na naa sa customs banded warehouse, kana sa tanan is under na siya sa district collector nga custody. While under na siya sa district collector nga custody, si custom banded warehouse operator, liable na siya sa tanang expense within the custody. Kay butan tag 1 year, nag-operate sila, and then na sila gilabag na rules. So nya gihatag na nila ni kanang ang tanang goods nga naa sa ilang warehouse, ato na under custody ni district collector. So sa whole duration nga naa ni district collector ng goods, si customs banded warehouse operator maunay mo manubag sa tanang expense. Then section 18, subsection 7, warehouse supervision fee for a customs banded warehouse when it is closed. So kung naay mga unsettled payment nga gibayaran before closure sa customs banded warehouse is ato pa na nila sa kanang customs operator or kinsay ga-manage anang money nila. But if ma-close na ang kanang customs banded warehouse and then naay mga payments nga nangabot, kana siya is makuha na tanan ni district collector. And then kana siya is dili na siya refundable. So next is Section 18, Subsection 8, CBW operator or accredited member does not release from any accountabilities or liabilities from customs budget operations. So kani si customs budget operator and ilahang accredited member is liable na sila sa tanang nahitabo within the operations sa customs banded warehouse. And then ang pag-suspend sa usa ka customs banded warehouse is dapat in accordance to CAO 01-2022. Kani CAO 01-2022 nag-state ni siya sa tanang about sa banded warehouse.
That will be the end of our presentation. Thank you everyone for listening, and we hope that you learned from our discussion.